Well, hello, everybody. Welcome. We got ourselves another beautiful Sunday and a lot of beautiful people over here as well. I'm seeing a bunch of original styles, and you know how I like to see that. I like iconic styles, but sometimes they can be a bit played out, so sometimes I do like to see those original styles and what people come up with on their own. Even if it's a variation of an iconic style, original styles are really cool. So always looking to see them. So I'm always interested when I see things like that. So I'm jumping on my hero so I can actually fly around a little more freely over here, so I don't get bounced back. And just a little difference of scenery with the view. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with Akira over here. He had a really good style going on. He's not wearing the same one though, but we'll take a look at what he's got on now. So this one's not terrible. I do think that the other one was better, but this isn't awful. It's not bad. The other one he had like a lot of like blue energy kind of like going through it, and I thought it was cool. It was using the new runic flex suit sort of a thing going on there, the Celtic flex suit. So it would have been interesting to see maybe a little later on. And then we have a Viltrumite style here. That chest style's not bad for a Viltrumite. I feel like we should be able to get some better legs for a Viltrumite though, because it's like the color should be the gray with the white on the front, not the white with the gray on the front. But we're just working with what we have for now. Let me see here, and then we got Arya over here. If I could find him on the list. Abraham, welcome to chat. Abraham says, I'll be displaying my 80s Batman and Keaton Batman. Sweet. Awesome. Let me see. Are they all the way down on the bottom here? Maybe they are. Alright. There we go. So, this is a nice style. I've actually showcased this on the channel before. But yeah. I'm honestly surprised that I can remember what styles I have and haven't taken clips of yet. Because to be perfectly honest, I would have figured at this point that there would be doubles of some people with like the same style on the channel, but that has not happened yet. Funny enough. But one of these days it will happen. One of these days my brain will fail me and I'll double feature the same style twice in two different shorts, I'm sure. But at least up until this point, that has not happened yet. Alright, we got Jean Paul Valley over here. I think this is a style I also have seen before. So I have seen this one before. Maybe like they posted it on a Discord or something. I do like the different like Azrael styles. I think they're in good taste. Not in good enough taste to where he should have been Batman or tried to be replaced in as the new Batman. But I thought his styles were always unique. Azrael. So it's cool to see that there are some players that really dig their heels into that and make something happen with it. So yeah, this is very nice. We got Sindel over here. Let's see now if it's the same Sindel that's from Mortal Kombat. I guess it's kind of close, I guess. Yeah, it's not bad. Let me see here. Okay. We've got PPZ over here. I think I saw this one last week, but I think it's hilarious and I'll show it again. It's basically of his version of Batmite. So there you go. Somebody last week also mentioned the character Batmite, and they were like, yo, it'd be cool if we had them as an ally, and I said 100%. Either Batmite is like an ally or a combat pet would be hilarious. Like if you want to add something in for like an April Fool's or like a March, trying to think here, like a March, like St. Patty's Day thing or April Fool's thing. That's kind of the route I would go. That's the route I would go, 100%. We got Doctor of Fate. So it looks like Doctor Fate inspired character. You can still see that they're just level 1, so they haven't got their helmet yet. Or anything else for that matter, but you know, they're probably closing in on that soon enough. Let's see here. I'm gonna do Scar over here. There we go. I'm trying to think here. They're not using an accessory. You need to be really good with this. Would be really good with this style. And I actually like it. I think I'll go ahead and... Yeah. What I think would be really good with this style is that new mechanized Vortex accessory. I think that'd be really nice with this character. Yeah. Let's see what else. Alright, we've got Poseidon over there. Let's see if I can find him on the list. Okay, I mean, I kind of like this. The only thing that I say that could make this better is using the forge material. I think the forge material would make this pop even more. Or what you could do is you could use the gilded material, gilded metal weave material or whatever it is on all these other pieces, and then for the back piece you can use the forge. Maybe you could do like the neck piece and the back piece, you know, like they're surging with power or something. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I like the water theme. I like the two different like water types. You got like the material, and then you got the chroma on the hair. I've done something like this similar on my healer character quite a few years back when she just had the generic water styles that I would make for her. And then I kind of gave her some iconic outfits for like videos and stuff that I would use her to make the female styles. So, but yeah, she used to do all the water stuff like this. Alrighty, let's see. We got Flare over here. Did I? No, I think I already looked at Flare, but I'll just do it just in case. So they had... Oh, they're already gone. Okay, all right. Yeah, I think I already showed them on the stream here, but it was a cool like a Kaluan style. Brainiac Kaluan. Okay, so we got Abensur 2814. So I think I have seen this style before. It's pretty nice. I had somebody in the Discord that was telling me about this, how they were like, oh, you know, you can clip the beard through that and all that. I have seen this before, and I think it's pretty cool. You give your character a goatee. If you wear the Bostonian brand head style with it, looks like a goatee, and then, you know, and I think like the ears on top of it kind of make it look alien. That's kind of cool. I only wish that the Astro Slimline style, man, it's like, I mean, I know why the boots are there, but man, I wish they were easier to cover up. I feel like they, you know, like if you don't really want them there, like I kind of feel like it could have been like a separate boot style or something. All right, so we got Theo over here. Jar of the Future says, when do we get last week's short? I believe that is scheduled to come down after this stream at some point, but it will come down today. Yeah. Yep. it should be down fairly pretty soon. And I am still working on the Legion of Superheroes. I'm about, I don't know, I think I'm 3/4 of the done with the styles themselves, and then I'll actually just get to the video editing and whatnot. At this point, I'm just trying to squeeze in the time that I can for that video in between, you know, everything else, and seeing how that works out. But the short should be down pretty soon. Alrighty, we got Terry McGinnis over here. Char says, same with the neck ring for the Astro. Yeah, I wish that we could kind of take that off of there. Not crazy about it. This is a really nice style. I wouldn't have thought to use the legs at least for this. I like the back style that they did to make it look like an exoskeleton. So that's kind of cool. I like that. All right. And then we've got Bruce over here. So he's kind of got his own Batman style going on. Oh, and this reminds me with the suit and everything. So I was saying on stream, I don't know, maybe it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, that I had ordered all the comics that like kind of accompanied the game, like early on, like the DC Universe Online comics that were inspired by the game. And it has a lot of like lore that you don't get inside of the game itself when it comes to like Luthor and how Batman gets his cybernetic parts and whatnot. I thought a lot of it was really interesting and kind of gave a little more backstory that you don't get in the game for those specifics. So basically, for some reason, future Lex Luthor in the past, before he gets those cybernetic augmentations, for some reason or another, they compromise the Watchtower. It falls near Metropolis, and Brainiac is also involved in that. And he causes it to fall down. He wanted it to fall down on... I'm trying to think of the location, but basically it was the location that the Justice League like teleported to get out of the Watchtower because they knew it was going down. And basically Luthor and Brainiac have a deal to basically, you know, Luthor's basically helping, like, Brainiac's helping Luthor go ahead and enact many different plans to finally take down Superman. But Brainiac says that he'll help him to get rid of Superman, kill Superman, and in that, you know, to get closer to his goals of controlling, you know, Metropolis. Basically, his deal with Brainiac is, you let me take out Superman and have the planet, and you can do whatever you want, and, you know, we won't go after you and whatnot. And, you know, of course he gets betrayed, but the Watchtower falls down and Superman redirects it over to LexCorp Tower. It takes out the whole tower, and Luthor is caught in the wreckage, and he is horribly, like, he is horribly injured and whatnot. And basically, they rush him. They go ahead, like, you know, like the medics and everything in Metropolis take him to the ER, and Brainiac basically teleports him from the ER under everyone's noses. They don't even realize it until he's gone, to his ship, and rebuilds him with his tech in order to keep their deal going, because he was like, Luthor, you wouldn't have survived. They wouldn't be able to tend to your injuries. So I will rebuild you so that we can continue our predetermined arrangement. And so that's how you get Luthor that looks the way he does. And uh, so basically, when you see him in the cinematic and he's got all these weapons and everything, that is all Brainiac tech. And when it ends and you see Brainiac come down, Luthor knew Brainiac was around, but he didn't think that he was going to break his end of the bargain. And, well, or he thought he had contingencies to fight against that if he needed to. Like, he thought he had a whole bunch of other, like, countermeasures, and they ended up failing massively. So he had no real recourse against Brainiac. So when he sees him come down from the skies after he takes out Superman with the spear, then he kind of realizes at the point that he's been double crossed. So, and then that's where it kind of leaves off. But yeah, so you don't really realize these things, in the cinematics, but the comics kind of piece a lot of this stuff together. It's really interesting though, but yeah, a lot of lore to it that you don't get in the game cinematics or anything like that. Yeah, Bruce is wearing the helmet. Char saying hello, Batman tunes. And just another Mexican, welcome to chat. He says nice Broly fit. Yes, it was really nice. I like the hair to it. I thought the hair was cool. So like in the cinematic also, it's true that Black Adam doesn't actually die to well, he does and doesn't die to Superman. So basically, Superman uses his heat vision basically on if you remember the cinematic, he uses his heat vision on Black Adam when it comes down to his last encounter before he goes after Lex Luthor. And a lot of people think to themselves, when Lex calls him out and he fights him and he lasers him, everybody thinks that Black Adam's pretty much done. No, he actually lives a little bit after that point. Because basically, Brainiac, after that, Brainiac's trying to control Luthor. And Luthor's like, my suit is being powered down, or it's being kept at a certain level. I can't use certain protocols. And so he has a dying Black Adam basically say Shazam to reboot his whole suit to get Brainiac out of his circuitry and cut his control. And then Black Adam reverts to his mortal form. But he tries to revert back to Black Adam, and then he realizes, oh, my other side, Black Adam must be dead. He must have finally died from his injuries. So Teth Adam basically cannot switch back to Black Adam after his fight with Superman and helping, doing one last Shazam for Lex Luthor to reboot his suit in that cinematic that you don't see. He's not able to change back to Black Adam. So Black Adam in that version is effectively dead, and only the mortal side it remains. So his connection to that power is gone. And so basically, you see all the Brainiac robots. They're going ahead, and they're and Superman's already dead at that point. It's all over, and they're chasing Luthor and Teth Adam, and Teth's like, help me, Lex, blah blah blah, and Lex was like, my arrangement was with Black Adam, not Teth Adam, so our business is finished, or whatever, or something to that effect. And then he leaves him to get taken down by the Brainiac drones and basically taken out that way. So it's crazy to think that yes, Black Adam dies to those injuries, but then not really. His mortal side still perseveres, and then Lex Luthor basically leaves him to the wolves. Basically, leaves him to the Brainiac robots that are basically taking over the area at that point. Um, so yeah, very interesting stuff from those comics that accompanied like the game's origin story and whatnot. So a lot of things you wouldn't expect until you actually read it, and you're just like, oh wow, I didn't realize that. Alright, so Char says, okay, I keep getting skipped over. I know at the beginning you said you like original subs right now over one-to-one iconics. It says, I'll go over and switch to Immortal. I'm looking at everybody I can over here. I mean, if I'm skipping over everybody, there's definitely quite a few people I'm skipping over without realizing it. So, sorry about that, but yeah, you know, I'm doing my best to see as many people as I can. If you feel like you're getting skipped over, it's not because I mean to, it's because there's other people I'm looking at. Alright. So we got CW Flash over here. Let's see. We got Nightmare Jester over here. Yeah, there's so many times I'll have people that'll message me and they'll ask me like, "Oh, you haven't seen me yet," and whatever. You know, so there's definitely times where I'm meaning to try to look at everybody and I'm not able to. And there's definitely times I'm definitely trying to choose the other people I haven't seen before so that they get their little bit of screen time and they get recognized. So just bear with me here. We got Super Teen over here. Somebody was mentioning like Batrocidus. That would be a really good style that that I've got to figure out making at some point or another. It's just he's like a Batman, like a dark multiverse Batman that basically became a Red Lantern. And this character, like at least the pointy parts on this, thought maybe he was like a Batman with like a Red Lantern symbol or whatnot. Like from kind of like this angle, kind of looks like it. But a lot of those characters, until they start making like figures or something of them, the details on them are often pretty vague. And then once they get to like toy manufacturers or any sort of you know, like figure or statue like companies that make things like that for like DC Comics, then they have to kind of hone in on the actual details and actually add like a standard for what the actual character looks like. You know, because I think you get a lot of characters where the artist it differs from, you know, from print to print, copy to copy. Like they've got a very specific, you know, one has a very specific art style and they change it up a lot, and then the other one has a totally different like aesthetic and they change the character around too much, or they don't have much time in the comics, so you don't get like a whole body shot. So a great thing is that they go ahead and when it comes down to like the figures, you can actually get a good idea of what they actually look like, or what they're supposed to look like, what the standard is for them in the comics. Yeah, Batrocidus. Yep, that was actually a thing. And then there's a version, and like he appears with. I'm trying to think of the other ones. He appears with also the Collector, which is a Batman version of Brainiac. So that's another one that I'd probably look at doing. I just have to really get down and, you know, try to find a really specific, like a standard style for them that's like kind of agreed upon. So yeah, like I said, action figure companies and companies that make like statues of DC Comics characters. A lot of the time they work directly with DC to kind of hammer down the details of what the character actually looks like versus what what some of the you know, kind of what the artists want. So it's going to be a lot more consistent. You can actually like make styles to it instead of it kind of being everybody's interpretation of what they think it looks like in like the limited 2 to 3 pictures that we get. So yeah, like this is kind of nice. I like this. This is like a true cat burglar style. Very nice. Then we got Vamp God over here. The skin's nice. I gotta figure out what I want to what I want to do with that skin. I mean, to be honest, it's not a bad skin. I could see it being good for a few things, but I feel like the Sanguine Ritual already has a leg up on it because the eyes are glowing. So you have a really nice like a, you know, like a, not a head style, but like, you know, eyes, nice eyes that go with it. Something extra than just like scarring on skin or whatnot. You know, there's a little something there, you know, instead of it just being lines on skin. And I think Multiverse commented on the video when I did showcase that, and he said that he wished that they would do like multiple versions where there were like parts of the skin where there weren't the scarring or the markings, and then some where it were. So you know, like different variations of where the markings would be on the character. So I thought that was pretty cool. That would have been cool, but I don't know. I don't know how much time it goes into with making versions like that. I don't know if it takes more or less time. Probably more time. But yeah, I just kind of think the other skin's just a little bit better. Like, this is alright. The only thing that I like about this skin over the Sanguine Ritual skin is that there's more markings on the chest and there's no blackening of the hands. Sometimes you want like the hands to be like blacked out like that. That's great, but that's the only thing I didn't like about the Sanguine Ritual skin when you want to have the hand color on the bottom, so it doesn't get totally like blacked out. And then we've got Donna Troy over here. Char says, yeah, that's crazy. I'm just familiar with the Dark Knight's alternatives we've seen in game. There are a lot more in the comics. Yeah, a whole lot more. Lucifer Morningstar says, the Batman who frags was the most hardcore Batman for the Dark Multiverse. I'd have to double check and see who that is. It sounds familiar. I just can't pinpoint it from just the name though. Char says the stealth material goes hard for Catwoman style. I had it on my Batman. Hard to choose between that and the tungsten. I used to use the stealth material a lot for like my Darkseid style. I felt that it was a really good color for like Darkseid. I made a classic Darkseid with it before like the wet paint or the glossy material kind of made it into the game, you know what I mean? So for me, that was a nice deep blue that had kind of a metallic-ish finish to it. And then we got Lowell over here. So this also looks like a CW Flash style, if I'm not mistaken. Alright. And then we got Immortal over here. I'm trying to think who this reminds me of. I mean, it's not bad. I like it. It's a good style. The hairstyle is definitely interesting. Man, this reminds me of somebody. I didn't play the game, but I know the aesthetics of the character. It reminds me of somebody. Um, I'm beating myself up trying to remember what it is. I believe that this guy ends up fighting a villain called like Senator Armstrong or something. It feels like the same aesthetic of that, if I'm not mistaken. And man, was that a hardcore fight. Yeah. Let me know who you think this looks like. Alright. And then we got Leapy FR over here. Alright, so Char's saying Immortals inspired by Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. I think we're talking about the same game, yeah. Lucifer says, think Batman, but as Lobo, mostly because he injected Khazarian DNA in himself. Okay, alright, so he's the one that... I know this isn't going to narrow it down, but he's literally the Lobo that has the bat cowl on. Okay, yeah, I should have known by you saying frag, cause Lobo's line is frag me, man. Yeah. Okay. All right. Totally makes sense. Yeah, that did not click with me at all. Not at all, but yeah, it makes a lot more sense now. Yeah. Yeah, it's for me. I think the one that really speaks to me is the Devastator, because he's a Batman that's forced to abandon any sort of hope against saving Superman, because he realizes in that moment it doesn't matter. So basically, he's the Devastator, the background for the Devastator, and I've kind of talked about this before when the head style was part of the Dr. Fate's daily rewards, and I made a video on it. I'll do a quick little preface on it. So basically, you're in Metropolis, Superman's going wild, Batman's trying to figure out why he is, but in the moment, Superman's basically taking people out, and now it's his turn. And Superman's not holding back. He doesn't know why. They don't know if it's mind control. They don't know what it is. But at the end of the day, in that moment, Batman's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, maybe this was always within him. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know what it is, but I can't lose to him now. And so basically, he, Superman lasers off his arm. Batman's trying to talk him down. He lasers off his arm, whatever. And basically Superman's about to take him out, and then Batman just injects himself with a modified version of the Doomsday virus, and basically turns into a Doomsday. And he basically takes Superman out and says, "You cannot hurt me anymore." Yeah, and basically regrows his whole limb and everything. And then basically his idea of mercy and saving people is turning them into Doomsday, because he thinks in his mind, and this is part of the toxin in the Doomsday virus as well, kind of affects his thinking, but he believes at that point that Superman has always been a threat, and that the only way you can save people is to turn them into Doomsday so that they're so strong that Superman can't do anything to them anymore. He can't become a threat anymore, and that everybody has the power to oppose him. So, it's something that I could see being like the most plausible when you have like when people talk about like, what if Superman and Batman went against each other, and Batman had no real planning, and it's pretty much him against Superman, and no kryptonite. Well, that's if you had Superman that just went nuts for one day, and you have no other options, and you're up against a wall, That's a Devastator. It's your worst nightmare realized, and he had to do what he had to do at the end of the day. Draw the Future. Hey Terry, wanted to tell you that he made style called White Knight. That is from fan art. If you want to see what he's currently wearing. Okay. Alright, let me see if I can find him again. So he calls this White Knight. So I like the chest and legs, how they insert into each other. I like that quite a bit. I don't know how I feel about the white with the black though. It may look better in the comic. I don't know. I feel like the white's like too much. It doesn't match well with the red and the black. The red, black, and the gray go well together. They go really good. I don't know. I do believe that he could use a fourth color, but I don't know if white's probably the best example for that. It just feels like two different suits put together. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I like the chest and legs, how they go together though. That was actually pretty smart. It just feels like the white's too bright or something. Feels like really off in that regard. Yeah, Char. Yeah, I recognize that it was the I recognize that it was the Riddler one, the Riddler chroma that we got earlier on. Yeah, see now this is a nice Batman style right here. So this is the Kingdom Come Batman style. I made this a while back, but I didn't have you know, I didn't have the head style, or yeah, I didn't have the head style at the time. So the head style that I used in my Batman video was a little lacking, but it was the best that we had at the time. But this is obviously better at this point now. I like it. The chest style's a good choice. The legs are a good choice with it. So overall, this is a really nice version of it. I feel like it fits better. The only thing I would think of is, man, like I wish the back of the chest went into the wings more, but I kind of understand that the wings kind of sit out quite a bit. But it's a nice style. They did a good job on this. Yeah. Alright. Let me see if I'm missing anyone else. We got Barbara over here, so it looks like an Oracle style. There you go. You got your Oracle style here for Barbara. A little whiles back, I actually made a calculator one. I didn't do a. Ooh, I didn't know that it actually had heels on it. That's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, look at the little chunky heels on that. Did not realize that. But yeah, didn't make one for Oracle. I don't know. I think it was just a villain in me that was like, I feel like Calculator was a little more challenging to make, just because, I mean, even though he was using her suit, you also have to add on, he had to add on his emblem and everything else. I think they're missing the emblem here, or does she not wear an emblem on her suit? I can't remember. She probably doesn't. But anyway, yeah, not bad. Very nice style. Do a quick little turn. There you go. All right. And then we've got Superboy Prime over here. Looks like they switched to let's take a look. That's alright. That's not bad. I definitely like the Superman Prime one just a little bit better. But all in all, not bad. Let's see. We've got a Tamu over here. So he's wearing a lot of the God's Eye chroma, for the most part, from what I'm seeing. Not bad. It's a celestial character. Chain gun, munitions. Very interesting. Have an Egyptian running around, and he's firing these modern grenade launchers and AKs, and very interesting. I like it though. It's funny. Alright, then we got Jade over here. Looks like we have Jade and Ermac. I think I saw Ermac last week, but it's Jade's pretty cool as well. We'll take a look at Jade here. And they're using the... trying to think of that name for the trying to think of the crystal, the name of the crystal chroma there. I know it was a dev drop, but trying to think of the name. I don't know. It'll come to me. And then we have Ermac over here. Very nice. Let me see if I got that. If I got that in my materials. Probably not. But I'm just gonna check. So amethyst. Maybe it's down at the bottom, most likely. Quartz. Sapphire. Yeah, so it's the sapphire glass was the one that she was wearing. I was kind of questioning if I actually had it on this character or not, but the longer I thought about it, I was like, I think I got it on this character, and yeah, I got it. And then we got Man Beast over here. Oh, I'll look at Omega Lantern real quick. I mean, it's a blade style. It's not bad. Came for an Omega Lantern and stayed for the blade. There you go. We got Man Beast. We'll go to him quick. Alright, so it's a Nightmare Chroma. Not bad. Let me see. Because I think I'm gonna look at Rogue Patriot over here real quick. And then I think I'll drop phases. So I had a lot of people asking about this cowl. And I was kind of thinking to myself whether or not they were going to bring that back. You know, whether they were going to bring that back for Batman Day. And I guess not. I'm guessing that's something they'll probably hold for next year to, you know, to keep any new players salivating. Make sure they log on. Alrighty. So I think I've seen just about everybody here. I'm gonna go jump down. I'm gonna go jump down a phase or two. Alright, yeah. Oh, that's right. I'm hero side, so I shouldn't be in combat. Should be quicker. Yeah, came from Omega, stayed for Blade. Yep. Alrighty. So we've got Uno Pan over here. So they are looking like let's see. So they're looking like Alan. Alan the Alien. I mean, the head style is definitely good for it. I don't know about the face style, though. Let me see if I can show what I would probably do for that. It's probably not going to look 100% like it just because you know, obviously my character is not the same like build. Here we go. So I probably don't have it unlocked, but I'll still just throw it on here. So you got mutant mask. We'll knock the material off. So I'm just gonna do generic orange, not trying to get too specific. If I were to use a face style, maybe I would do... Obviously I'd play around with it a little bit, but I think... Yeah. Let's change this to a blue. 2 different colors so that I can match it somewhat. Copy that. So obviously I would use like a different material on it, but something like that is what I'd go for, like Alan the Alien. It's not perfect, but I kind of feel like it shows the facial features a little better though. But yeah, I'm sure you could find other things if you really stretch your imagination. I mean, like, see if I put the, like, yeah, because the druid covers up mouth and everything. So I don't know about that. Let's try to think of what somebody else used on there instead. Yeah. I mean, you could also do, yeah, the infiltrator eye thing going on there. I thought somebody used, let me find it. No, it wasn't the sniper. I think it was technician. Okay, so they used the technician, but it was just the eye things. Okay, let me see if I could find it. Compound goggles? No, it wasn't them. I forget the names of the old style things. The old face styles. That's what's driving me nuts right now. No, it's not shaded. But yeah, I would use those goggles, those old goggles on the front. That might be a good one to use. If I could find the name for it here. No, it's not crescent visor. Maybe if I just start from the back, it won't be as crazy. But yeah, so that's what I would use. I'll just skip to the one that I had now so that I'm not in the menu the whole time. Okay, so protection goggles. And I'll take the blue phoenix, put on the glossy, if I can find it. There we go. And done. So you could also do that for Ellen. There you go. Alright. So those are kind of the things I think. So those goggles, and then or you could do the Black Lightning face mask. So I would say either of those would probably be good. That's kind of the direction I would lean for, like Alan the Alien. It's like, yeah, the big, you know, circle for the druid thing looks nice, but when you cover up the mouth and everything, I don't know if that's a better option, to be honest. And then you have Rachel Roth over here. So you got your Raven style, the white Raven, with of course the blue hair and whatnot, and then you have the temporal accessory. And I mean, those accessories are cheap on the broker. I wouldn't replay them at all, because their replay costs are insane for those accessories. Like, it's probably because they're from a Resurgence. Like, they kind of make a decision on how expensive everything is. just because of where it comes from, and that's where they consider the rarity. But like, look at the costs on these. Vortex, 350. Like that's $10 of marketplace cash right there, or loyalty points, if I can speak here. Yeah, so that's $10 for an accessory. It's like, I don't know. I don't know that they're worth $10, but yeah, to me that's pretty exorbitant, especially if you're trying to do like multiple on a character or whatnot. I think they should be a little less than that, or at least half that. Okay, so we got Izzy over here, or Lizzle. Whether it's I's or L's, I think it's L's. So there you go. And like, see if there's anyone else I haven't really seen yet. I'll look at Chidori over here. Very nice. I don't know what I'm looking at, but I mean, I like the, I don't like the dress and like gown, like combo. You know, it's not bad. It's like, you know, schoolgirl vibes or whatnot. We got Granty over here. So it looks like a Shazam character, like battle worn or whatnot. Got spikes coming out of their legs. I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe they're just kind of trying things out or transitioning through their style. I mean, the battle worn idea isn't bad. I wish a lot more things were battle worn, like different versions. Like, I feel that I think that a lot of styles from this point on, like, instead of it having like only a glowing effects, I think they should have like battle worn versions. Like, it should be the regular gear is like the pristine looking gear, and then the battle worn is literally, you know, like the hardcore players are wearing their style in. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're elite, so your gear's kind of worn in because you're putting it, you know, you're putting your gear and everything kind of through the ringer to run content, or, you know, you're dealing with bosses that are at least tougher than what's on like casual or regular, or you know, so something along the lines of that. I think that concept would be kind of cool, and we did see this this last week. I think it was a good choice. All right, let me go ahead and drop down one more phase if I can. Yes, we can. Yeah, probably Buff. Yeah. I haven't watched Hero Academia. I know quite a few friends of mine that have. I've heard it's pretty solid. It just never really grabbed my interest, but I've heard it's good. Then you got a Superman character over here. Alright, so I'm going to see if I can drop back into... Let me read my message here. Alright. So I think I'll look at like 3 more styles, and then I think we can call it a stream, so that I can jump on, well, either on Iconic or my healer, Speaking Moistly, and go ahead and keep working on the Legionnaire video, so that I can get that out at a pretty decent time, because like I said, with life and other things, it's kind of been pushed back, and I don't want to have it pushed back too long, because it's been a little bit since I've posted a style video on the channel. So I'd like to get something out pretty soon for that. So it looks like we got an aquatic Batman over here. Alrighty, and then we got, well, I've already seen, let me find somebody I have not seen. So we've got Vixen over here. So Mary on the front of that name. There we go. Mary McCabe Vixen. This is actually a pretty nice Vixen style. I like how they use the Starfire style to go ahead and make it very nice. And they got the whole emblem and everything on it and everything. Very nice. And then we've got Lantern Kyle over here. And I think those boots are great for Kyle Rayner. Face style is obviously really good. They're using the hairstyle that the NPC is going to end up wearing. I think that hairstyle actually looks better than the NPC's hair that he will be wearing. I feel like the one that they're using, I feel like what they're using for the NPC, I feel like the hair is kind of like smushed down a bit. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't visually look right. It looks like somebody kind of slicked his hair down as like a joke in the front. Just kind of looks a little odd there, but you know, maybe it's just a picture. Maybe when it comes out, maybe he won't look half bad. We'll just have to see. But I'm guessing at the end of this month, that's pretty much when we'll see him come down, you know, with the new chapter or whatnot. So it'll be interesting to see. We got a nice Martian Manhunter here with John Jones. Alright, and I'll look at one last style, and then I think we can call it a stream. Who shall it be? Who have I not looked at yet? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and choose Omnibelle over here. I have not seen anything with her style over here, so I'm going to take a look. So it looks like a cosmic character. Looks like it's like Raven inspired, whatnot. Alrighty. And there you have it. I appreciate you all for coming out and hanging out with me on this Sunday afternoon / evening for some. And I will see you all in the next video. Laters.